There we go. Oh, bottle of ski, bringing it on back to you and me. It's Dumas Walker, the Kentucky Headhunters on 94.3 The Ox. 8:30 now, and time for Coffee Talk, brought to you by the Comanche Chamber of Commerce and Agriculture. Check them out at #Explore Comanche, Texas, as we welcome into the studio Cynthia Newton with Hope Counseling. Good morning.
Good morning.
How we doing?
Doing good. We were just talking football, so
yeah, we were.
Man, it's been a great football weekend. I will say that. So my alma mater, Howard Payne, went 5-0. Yay, Jackets!
The Jackets, undefeated.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
It's a great day to be a Howard Payne Jacket.
What'd you say? First time since 2001?
2002.
2002. Okay.
Yes, it was.
Wow.
That's what they were saying. It's the first time they've gone 5-0 since 2002.
All right.
So it's
Jackets
19 years
on a roll.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about this morning?
We are going to talk a little bit about recovery and addiction. Not necessarily the person that it is, but how do you support somebody who's going through that? Because often we find ourselves, trying to support an addict or somebody in recovery, and there's a lot of things you should do, and there's a lot of things you shouldn't do, and sometimes that line is, I don't know which way to go. So
it's a gray area. I'm
here to tell you this morning some do's and some don'ts related to that, if I can talk.
Okay.
Haven't had all my
You're not getting coffeeed up yet?
Not quite.
Okay.
Anyway, so first I want to go over the characteristics of a recovering addict. For addicts who receive professional help, just remember this, they may go to rehab, but it's just the beginning of recovery. So in order to maintain long-term sobriety, it's essential for them to not only go through rehab, but also begin the recovery process after rehab.
Sure.
So recovery doesn't really start in essence until you leave rehab.
Yeah.
So, and if you're doing it on your own, I mean, that is harder. I will say there are people that will do this on their own and detox on their own, and that is a very hard thing to do, and they really need that support, especially during that. But as substance abuse and mental health services administration will often tell you, recovery begins when a person takes the following actions. So this is what you're looking at. They deal with his or her problem without using drugs or alcohol and without getting stressed out. They realize his or her personal boundaries and how to separate their problems from other people. They have at least one person he or she can be completely honest with. It takes time to restore his or her physical and emotional energy when they are fatigued. And if people take these acts after rehab, then they are in recovery. So these acts that they're doing after rehab are considered part of recovery.
Sure.
So, they're trying to restore physical health. They're looking at trying to find that person, that setting boundaries, all those things. So if you find yourself as that person that's supporting them, what do you do? All right, so first off, you need to allow space and time. Allow some space and time for them to make new friends. When someone in early recovery makes the decision to stop using, they need to change their social environments.
Yep.
Okay, so they're not going to necessarily come out and let's go to the bar, let's go to this person's party, whatever. You're going to have a change in that, and you're going to have to allow that as a friend. You're going to need to be supportive in that. You may be, trying to find other areas, but also realize that they may not want to be around you personally all the time. So allow them that space and time to not only develop more friend groups, but also to help them identify for themselves the best situations they can be in. Don't play cop or act like a monitor. Okay? I'm telling you to support this person, but you're like, well, I mean, I should be asking them, okay, did you have a drink today? Did you have a drink today? Did you do drugs today? No, you don't want to do that because it's a constant reminder. Sure. All right? So it's wonderful that you help them get into treatment. It's good that you're maybe accompanying them to meetings, all right? And it's great that you're willing to answer their calls at 1 a.m. when they needed your help. But following them around, being that helicopter friend, they don't need that. They don't need that monitor. They need to be able to monitor their own sobriety, okay? That is huge because that's so much a factor and so much a part of it that, I mean, they have to be able to do that themselves, okay? I got this backwards. Okay. All right. So, the other thing is keep it to yourself. Don't complain about losing a friend. Don't complain about losing a party friend. Don't complain, about they just always want to talk. If you're putting yourself in that position, guess what? That's what they need.
That's what you're there for.
But keep it to yourself. Don't go talking to other people. Support them, but don't necessarily go out and share with somebody else everything that they've told you. Okay?
Right.
That's why they have the groups. That's why they have these things, so that people can feel confident in being able to confide. Find ways to socialize without alcohol. As I said, find those ways. Go to the park. Play golf. I mean, I know for some people golfing might be a trigger, okay?
Yeah.
But if it's not, go do that, you know?
Sure.
I mean, just get out and do some stuff that's fun. Feed
Fishing.
the ducks. Fishing. Although some people, that might be a trigger. So you got to be aware of what their triggers are. So
I'm out of balance with this fishing rod and nothing else in this other hand.
that's right.
Have a Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper, there you go. All right. So, acceptance for the recovering addict. Be accepting of the person. Don't place judgment. Okay? They often feel like they are judged by the people around them.
Sure.
So you've got to make sure you're not creating judgment. That you're actually creating a judgment-free zone. Create that safe space. All right. So a place that they feel like there's no substance, no triggers. Sober house livings are a great place for people to start out. If they're coming out of rehab, they tend to have pretty high rules. Again, nothing's perfect. If somebody wants to use, they're going to figure out a way to break those rules.
Sure.
But you have to be aware that you need to be there to help them. Especially if you're stepping into this role, and that's the whole thing. If you want to step into this role to help a person, don't go halfway. You know, if you're stepping in this role, you need to understand that there's a lot to it, and support them. And if you don't feel like you can, say, hey, you know, let me find you somebody that can help you, because I don't feel like I can do this for you.
Yeah.
Listen to them when they want to talk. Listen, pay attention. That doesn't mean judge them. That doesn't mean give them a bunch of answers that they don't want to hear. They just want a listening ear, okay? Create that healthy environment. Healthy doesn't necessarily just mean substance-free. It also means healthy meals. That's a huge part of rehab. That's a huge part of recovery, is maintaining healthy eating patterns.
I bet sleep's in there somewhere,
absolutely,
too.
Absolutely. Healthy eating, sleeping, and exercise, actually. So, again, we've talked about support groups, helping them find that support group. Being patient, we said that. That's important. You can't get frustrated, okay? There is the high probability of relapse, especially that first year. Can't get frustrated. You got to still be there. They're going to make mistakes, okay? You can't sit there and beat them over the head with a hammer every single time, because that's not going to work. They have to come to it on their own and their own decision. Your initial reaction might be to get angry and lose your temper, but that's the last thing that they need. They need to know that you still love them, that you're still going to be there. All right, so things to avoid while supporting a recovering addict. That's pretty huge. There really are some. But first off, don't pressure them. Don't pressure them, especially in the first few months. Okay, they don't need pressure. They need love and support. Don't drink or use substances around them. Don't be judgmental. Don't offer unsolicited advice. Leave the advice at home. Because it can be patronizing, rude, unfounded, and harmful at worst to them. That may not be how you mean it, but remember, they're not necessarily in that frame of mind that they're going to take things the way that you mean them. So be careful. Don't question them. I said, don't be that helicopter friend. Just let them know that this is their journey. No two recovery journeys are alike. Okay, you may have been through recovery yourself, so you think, okay, this is how it's going to go for them. Guess what? It's not. Here to tell you, it's not. Every recovery is different. Okay, so just be aware of that. Be a friend. Let them lead their life the way they feel like they need to. Let them make the mistakes that they're going to do, because they're going to have to learn from those mistakes. It's kind of like kids. We can tell them all day long, you don't need to do that. You're going to make a mistake. But I guarantee you, at some point, they're going to do it just because they have to learn the hard way. Well. We hope that it doesn't happen, but I'm not unrealistic in the fact that I believe it's never going to happen. Don't take things personally. This is hard. You got to realize, and this isn't any such situation. Whether you're a caregiver for a loved one, whether you're helping support somebody that's going through recovery, any situation, when you are that closest person to them, they are going to lash out at you the most.
Sure.
Do you know why?
That's part of it.
Do you know why?
you always hurt the ones you love.
That's right, because they're always going to be there.
Yeah, they won't run off.
They are not going to run off. So you can lash out at them the most because you know that they're not going to leave you. So they're taking out everything on you. Don't take it personally. You just got to realize that they're hurting right now, and this means that they need them more. Okay? Realize that counseling sessions, groups, they may take up their time. They may not have the time, to spend with you like you want. Okay? But be aware that they're trying to get the help. Do not stop communication. Okay? If they stop, just a text today, just something that says, hey, I'm thinking about you. I hope you had a good day today. Don't ask, hey, I'm worried about you. Did you go drinking today? No, just let them know you're still there. You might voice some things, confusion or frustration if you're having that with them, but just be aware that, don't just stop communicating, because that's the worst thing you can do. That can be a trigger for them.
Yeah.
Don't try to prevent the addict from making or learning from their mistakes. Okay, like I said, while in recovery, they're going to hit rock bottom. If they haven't already, they're going to they will hit it at some point. They're going to overcome. When they can overcome that, they start to feel their own power. They start to feel that they can do this. So be aware of that. But you have to let them make those mistakes on their own. Sometimes it can be very hard mistakes. Sometimes it can truly involve life-changing mistakes that they're going to have to deal with. But you can't do it for them.
Nope.
So don't walk on eggshells. People are like, well, just walk on eggshells. It'll be okay. No, don't live in silence for fear of causing them to relapse. But when somebody goes to rehab, they can become well aware that they're responsible. So they have to find their own strength. Again, they may perceive that you did something to spark a relapse. It may be all your fault. But this is never the case. They are the ones that chose to relapse. Okay? You're not the one that said, here. Unless you are. Now, if you're the one that said, here, take this drink, or here, take this hit, or take whatever, then that, yes, they chose to do it. But, that, hopefully, nobody is doing that. But, unless you're actually doing that, you're not the one that has truly caused a relapse, and be aware of that. They tend to blame you, not always, but they tend to blame you until they're ready to take responsibility.
Yeah.
But don't walk on eggshells about that, because you're not going to be the one that causes a relapse. If they want to relapse, they're going to relapse. Okay? Yeah. Don't make assumptions. Ask what that person needs needs from you. Ask them, what do you need? Do you need a hug? Do you need me to go run to the grocery store and just get you some electrolytes, just some stuff to kind of help you manage? Do you need me to, maybe not a lot of stuff, but maybe just a few things here and there that'll help them get along? Can I pick up a sandwich for you and bring it to you?
No.
What do they need? Don't make assumptions on what they need. Don't go buy, $300 worth of stuff that they're never going to touch. No. Be sure of what they need. Don't make assumptions, and provide for them, and be there for them. All right. Don't rehash the past. This can go for anything in life,
Sure.
Whether it's marriage, whether it's kids, whether it's anything, guys. Don't rehash the past. You've been hurt by this individual, I guarantee you, or you wouldn't be standing by them and caring about them to try to get sober, okay? But it's time that you move forward from the past pain, all right? Not letting go of what happened while they were under the influences prevents their necessary growth, okay? So you've got to let go of the past. You may wish to get your own therapy to find peace and understanding. That could be very important. So just be aware that you got to let go of the past. You might need therapy yourself to overcome that, and that's okay. Certain factors which support a successful recovery. All right, so I'm going to hit on these again. Health is one factor which can help you. Eat a balanced diet. Exercise, okay? All those things are important. Healthy living. The second aspect is home. If you live with an addict, giving them a stable and safe place to live is important. If you don't, helping them make sure they have a stable and safe place to live is important. So making sure that they feel that. The third is purpose. Help them find a purpose. If they don't have one, they are more apt to relapse. Help them find the purpose for their lives. They are more apt to sink into a very deep depression if they don't have a purpose. And finally, the last aspect is community. Your relationship to the recovering addict gives them a feeling of belonging that they need in order to overcome their addiction. So community, your relationship with others is highly important. Take care of yourself first, guys. You got to take care of yourself. I've said this over and over and over. You can't help somebody else if you're not taking care of yourself. Remember that they're human. They're not a monster. They're human. They may have made some mistakes. The drug, the alcohol, all these drugs might cause them to become a monster, but they are not a monster. Addiction is a disease. It results in distorted value systems that shift towards supporting ongoing substance use. So it's okay to get frustrated, guys, but just realize they are human. Realize there's a lot about substance to learn, okay? It's not like you can just open up Google and say, okay, I want to learn everything I want to know about substance abuse in 5 minutes or less.
Yeah,
yeah, right.
The Cliff Notes version.
There is no Cliff Notes version. I can tell you that. So be careful not to use your love and comfort as a weapon, okay? Don't sit there and threaten, okay, if you don't quit, I'm going to leave you. If you don't quit, if you love me, you would quit. Okay, don't use it as a weapon, because that's going to backfire. Okay, they need you to love them, not love them not love them because. It's called unconditional love. They need you to love them, so don't use that as a weapon. Tell them that you love them enough to see them live. Tell that you love them enough to walk through this with them. Okay?
Just like the bottom line on all of it is, you're dealing with somebody who's been at rock bottom or is at rock bottom, and we've got to help build them up, not tear them further down.
Absolutely.
That kind of runs through all of that.
One big point, guys, Britt, you have to be able to give recovery support without enabling their addictions.
Yep.
Okay, hey, I'm going to go put you in a place where you can get sober, but here's the keys to your vehicle and here's $500 cash.
Yeah.
No, that's not good.
Right.
I mean, that's just like, okay, I'm going to go put you there and here's a gift card for food.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, those things, absolutely. That's what you need to do. I'm taking your keys. You can't drive. If you need something, call. You know, you can walk across the street to go get food. But, okay. And finally, be prepared for recovery support to be a lifelong process. An addict is always in recovery. This isn't something that goes away. They're constantly recovering. This is something that they go through, whether it's 1 month, 1 week, 1 day, or 15 years, they're still in recovery.
Yep.
So just be aware. It is a lifelong process. They need you and they need your support. We are here at Hope Counseling of Texas to help you support your loved ones, and to help your loved ones as well. So please know that we're here at, we have offices in Comanche, Eastland, Dublin, and Hamilton. Goodness. Please give us a call at 325-356-1105. Again, Comanche, Eastland, Hamilton, and Dublin. Hope Counseling of Texas. Anything we can do, we're here for you.
All right. Cynthia Newton with Hope Counseling. Thanks so much for stopping in.
Thank you. Appreciate it. We'll see you next Monday.
All right.
This is John.
Hey, my name is John Jackson.
He's not some actor. He's a steward of the land with a John Deere 3 Series tractor and a PTO quick.
A friend that